Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and I'm back to go over 15 Nintendo Switch games that I think will make great holiday gifts, and also share with you one additional Nintendo Switch game that I think is a sleeping giant. I think this is a game that's really going to be big, especially for gamers who are into that modern retro style. But with the large amount of games we're going to go over, I don't want to waste too much time. Let's dive right in. The first game that we're going to look at is Moonrider Vengeful Guardian. This is a game that recently came out on the Switch, and if you're a fan of games like Hagane or Shinobi, this one is going to tickle your fancy because it follows that same storyline of an android, not an android, yeah, I guess an android or a cyborg ninja warrior who was created to do bad, but now is on the track to do good and wants to fight for humanity. You know how the story goes with these games. But the more important part for us gamers is what can this cyborg ninja do? And he's got a lot of weapons, a lot of tactical moves that can carry him throughout the course of the game. And I think that this is just going to be one that really just brings out a lot of nostalgia for those modern retro gamers. And again, if you're into games like Hagane especially, because I've mentioned it before when I've talked about this game, but it reminds me so much of Hagane. And I'm a huge fan of Hagane, which was a kind of like a cyborg samurai game on the Super Nintendo back in the day. Moonrider Vengeful Guardian is the closest thing that I've seen to that game. I've played a little bit of this game, not a ton. Got the download version. Wanted to keep my copy sealed. I don't know why, because this isn't an expensive game by any means. This is a game that you can easily pick up for between 25 and 35 bucks on either Amazon.com or Best Buy. But this is one that I would definitely get for the holidays because you don't hear about it. I haven't heard many people talk about Moonrider, and you don't see it in the stores a lot. You don't see it in the stores at all, really. So I think whoever you give a game like this to will be shocked and surprised. They may have never heard of it, and we always like it when we get gifts like that. So I would definitely recommend Moonrider Vengeful Guardian if you're looking for that modern retro hack and slash vibe. Next game up is Kunai. Now, this is a game that was pretty popular. I saw this all over the shelves back around 2019, 2018. This is a quirky run and gun shooting hack and slash style game. Just a ton of action, but I think the big selling point for me with this game is the art style, the art palette that they use. It's really interesting. It reminds me of games like, let me see, like Inmost or Haiku. Those are a couple super rare games that have really interesting color palettes, and Kunai follows that same style. But again, ton of action. If you look at the main character, it's just this smiley face square here. And I think this is one that will be cool to give someone for the holidays. It's an older release on the Switch, so it's not one that you're going to see in the stores, but this has not jumped up anything crazy in value. So you should still be able to find Kunai for roughly around 30 bucks on eBay even, or maybe Amazon. And I think that this would be a good game to give someone for the holidays if they're into that action-packed gameplay style. The next game, After Image, this is a game that I actually heard about. I'd seen this game while browsing Amazon, but Radical Reggie was the one who actually did a review on this game when he was doing his like pickups video with Metal Jesus. And they were talking about this game and how it plays a lot like Symphony of the Night, and even the 2D art style kind of favors Castlevania. If you follow the channel, you know I'm all about those types of games. So After Image is one that, again, if you have someone who was a fan of the whole Castlevania style, or maybe they're a Metroid fan, After Image is one that I might say just might get the gears going for someone who's a modern retro gamer. So I would look into After Image. I have not played this at all. Can't say that I've played this yet because this is one of my more recent pickups, so it has been added to the backlog. But After Image is one, just based on what I've seen and based on the gameplay, looks like it'll be a good one for the holidays. This is a game that I've actually played a good amount of, and this is Death's Gambit. Now, Death's Gambit is a really good 2D side-scrolling hack and slash game. I can't talk enough about Death's Gambit. Just because I remember when I first picked up Death's Gambit, I think I was playing Blasphemous at the time, and I was so enamored by Blasphemous and how good of a game it was. I just started looking for any games that kind of resembled it. And so when Death's Gambit came out, this just screamed at me. I had to get it. The beautiful thing about Death's Gambit is that despite how amazing of a game it is, it's still fairly cheap when you consider how much games like this can cost. Right now, you can pick up a copy of Death's Gambit for between 25 and 30 bucks, and this does follow the whole 2D hack and slash style, a Metroidvania game. But a couple things that separate this game apart is, you know, the way the game is laid out. You get to see a lot of the level. So the main character is pretty small in this one. And when you first start off the game, you get to basically choose the weapon that you're going to use throughout the entirety of the game. And that kind of determines how you play the game. There's a lot of weapons in this game, a good amount of talking and storytelling. But one of the things that I love the most about this game is the stinking music. And the music doesn't stink. I'm sorry. The music is actually really, really good. It's very peaceful. You would think that with a game like this, it would generate a little more action. You know, it'd be more action packed, or maybe there'd be a little bit of suspense. Like when I play Blasphemous, it's not like heart pounding music, but the music in Blasphemous almost creates this eerie type of suspense about what you're going to encounter next. You don't really have that in Death's Gambit. It's more peaceful. It's more relaxed. You kind of feel like you want to take a nap when you play this game. Not because the game is boring, but just because the music is so good. I really like Death's Gambit. This is one that I would recommend for someone if you're thinking what game to pick up. If you're looking for a unique game for a modern retro gamer, Death's Gambit is one that I would definitely recommend. Here's another good one, Cogun. So Cogun, I got this through limited run, but I don't think this is a limited run game. Sort of rewind. I'm not sure if this follows a franchise or a series, or if this is just a standalone independent game, but I picked this up and never really got the chance to play it. It was added to my backlog, but I picked it up because, of course, the gameplay and what I saw, I knew that this would be a game that I'd be into. And again, it follows the whole hack and slash style, that 2D side scrolling here. And it has I think a cool element where you can rewind time. So just some cool gameplay features in this game. Haven't had a chance to dive into it too deep yet. But if you're a modern retro gamer, without even playing a game like this, you're going to see it and probably think, you know what, this is one that I think I might want to dive into. Especially if you're a fan of like Symphony of the Night and things like that. So Cogun is one that I would definitely look into, along with Wonder Labyrinth, right? So I think this is D-Lit in Wonder Labyrinth, but this is part of the Record of Lodos series. Out of all the games that I mentioned, this one, I mean, you want to talk about Symphony of the Night? Yeah, this is like a Symphony of the Night clone, right? So like another Symphony of the Night clone. Pretty cool moves in this one, though. I like the animation in this game. Like the pixelated animations in this game are really cool. This one probably is more of a Symphony of the Night clone than any of them. But again, the pixel art in this game is really good. Record of Lodos War was a little tough to find. Same thing with Cogun. Both of these games, I don't think you can find D-Lit and Labyrinth anymore. You probably won't be able to get this on GameStop's website or Best Buy. You might be able to find this on Amazon at MSRP, but I think this is one that may or may not have gone up, especially on the Switch. You might be able to find it on the PS4 MSRP, but on the Switch, this one may have gone up. When it comes to Cogun, though, Cogun was one, like I said, I got this through limited run, but both of these games are about 30 bucks a piece. So I wouldn't spend more than $30 on either of these games, Cogun and D-Lit in Wonder Labyrinth. So two pretty good games. Here's another game that's a recent pickup, and this kind of reminds me of Record of Lodos War because it too is another Castlevania clone. Eldorand. I've talked about Eldorand recently. Again, a Castlevania Symphony of the Night clone, amazing 2D pixelated artwork, great animations, music is on point. So again, for a modern retro gamer, this is a game that I think is going to stand out. Also, it's not a game that you hear about often. I know that Best Buy is carrying Eldorand and you can pick it up for roughly around 30 bucks right now. Don't know if you can get it on Amazon or at GameStop, but I got my copy from Best Buy, and I don't really see this going on sale, even with Black Friday and all the other deals. Like, it's sad. All of the really cool games never go on sale. Do you notice that? But yeah, Eldorand is a good one. Haven't had a chance to play it yet. This is a part of my backlog, but you know, I I pretty much know what I'm into. Those Castlevania Symphony of the Night clones are going to wind up in my collection somehow, and Eldorand is one that I would recommend for a modern retro gamer. Okay, so Golden Force was a game that I'm not going to lie, I thought that this game was going to sell out and stay sold out and be priced up really high just because of how much fun this game is. It combines like hack and slash with like the cutesiness of Mario and puts it all together into a really fun and exciting game. This is a very bright and colorful game with great pixelation. You can choose from, I think, one of 4 characters, which all basically have pretty much one of 4 characters. All of these characters pretty much have the same moves. I think just the difference between a few of them is probably the reach. I think the main character, he probably has the most reach with that sword. But yeah, I mean, it's side scrolling. You go through the levels, you know, you kind of hack and slash your way through. This has like hack and slash and beat 'em up elements to it as well. But the music is cool. It is kind of a collectathon because you do collect coins throughout the game. But Golden Force overall, I don't think there's anything that stands out really great about the game. There's no like special gameplay features, but I think this is just a solid hack and slash title. So, and again, Golden Force is not one that I think you would have seen at Best Buy. Maybe it got a Best Buy release, maybe not, but I know VGNY is where I put my order in to get my copy. But it's cutesy, but it does have some like adult themes to it. That's why it's rated M for mature. So it's kind of weird. It's like a mix between Castlevania, but then it has like those cutesy elements too. So Golden Force is one that I would definitely check out though. This one is slept on and I don't think a lot of folks know about it. All right, so I'm gonna go over these next 3 kind of together because they kind of all work together. All of these next 4, and that is Gunvolt Azure Striker, Gunvolt Luminous Avenger X, Gunvolt Luminous Avenger X2, and Gunvolt 3. So if you haven't heard of the Gunvolt series, then here I am to tell you about it now. If you're a fan of Mega Man and the Mega Man series, especially Mega Man X, then you're going to like Gunvolt, because Gunvolt is basically the new age version of Mega Man with just much better moves, much better weapons, and the animations when you do your special attacks are pretty cool. You kind of feel like you're doing a Super in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's kind of why I like it, especially in Azure Striker Pack and Luminous Avenger X. Some really cool moves in there. The characters are great, as you can see. Just that you're not side-scrolling hack and slash, but more of like blasting your way through Mega Man style. And in each, chapter of the game, part 1, 2, and 3, along with Azure Striker Pack, just the characters and animations I think are really great. You know, you're able to speed run these games, and they do remind me a lot of the Mega Man series. And more than anything else, I just love the cover art on these games. Just so classic, so colorful. Just the Gunvolt series is a really great series. And like I said, if you're into the Mega Man series, you'll definitely like Gunvolt. So I don't want to spend too much time on all those games. All right. Now just moving it right along. Now we're going to get down to the last 3 here. So we've got Narita Boy. So this was a release by Limited Run. I want to say, was it this year or last year? Narita Boy came out. I haven't played this one, but I picked it up because it reminded me of Tron. This was like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Tron, but it's got that whole retro futuristic vibe to it. It is hack and slash, and it has these old school neon colors. And I saw a little bit of the gameplay when it first came out. The game itself looks sick. I just haven't had a chance to attack it yet. Like I said, the backlog is a little crazy, but Narita Boy is a sleeper. I don't think a lot of people have talked about this one. And this is one that I would surprise someone with for Christmas just because of how unique and rare it is. I don't hear this one talked about a lot, and I don't know if Best Buy was carrying this. I think they were at one point, but as good as this game is, it's still pretty cheap. You should be able to find it for around 25 to 30 bucks. And this is one that I would surprise someone with on Christmas Day. Next up, who's in the mood for David Hasselhoff? If you know anyone who likes David Hasselhoff, you might want to get them some Kung Fury. Now, I think this is a TV show that was around in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Someone let me know down in the comments. But I think this game was based off of a TV show that obviously starred David Hasselhoff. But this is a pretty cool beat 'em up released by Limited Run. So and the cool part about this is that this is 2-player co-op. So you can play this with a friend. And you know, when you're on Christmas vacation, there's nothing better than that couch co-op play. So this is one that I would definitely check out. It's an arcade beat 'em up based on an old 80s TV show. But again, this is not one that you're going to really hear anyone talking about. I haven't seen this one talked about a lot. I'm pretty sure this will get a Best Buy release at some point. I picked up my copy early from limited run a little bit ago, a couple months ago. But this is a sleeper, and this is one I would recommend. Again, this is a recent release, so it should still be cheap, and you should still be able to pick this up for between 25 and 30 bucks on either Amazon, or you can also check Limited Run's website. But this is a cool one, Kung Fury couch co-op beat 'em up, or I think you can play it online with friends. All right, and then last but not least, bet you can't guess what this one is because of that cool retro steelbook. But what you're looking at here is Fist, a steelbook copy of Fist forged in Shadow Torch. And if you haven't heard of Fist, it's basically a 2.5D side-scrolling beat-em-up game where you play as this rabbit who has this mechanical fist attached to his body, and he's been trained to use this fist. He's not the only one with this mechanical fist. He's part of I guess like an army. This is a weapon that's commonly used in the world that this game is created in, or this character is created in. And I played a little bit of Fist. It is a cool game. It is a very cool game, and I think Fist is another one of those games that's slept on. When it originally released, I think it was 40 bucks, but right now you can get a copy of Fist, I believe, for 20 bucks or 15 bucks. So while the holiday promotions are going on, I would definitely look into getting a copy of Fist just because of how cool the game is. You may not recognize the steelbook, so let me grab the actual cover of the game. But this is what it looks like here. As you can see, new at GameStop, it was $39.99, but it is on sale where this price gets cut in half, and you can get it for $19.99. But Fist is a very cool game. I would check it out. If you're kind of curious, check out some of the gameplay footage because it plays a little bit like Metroid Dread. You just don't have the same weapons of Metroid. You're a Fist, right? So I would check this one out though. Fist Forged in Shadow Torch. This is a good one. All right, and last but not least, I will share the banger of the day. And I think it not because it's expensive, but just because, again, I don't hear this talked about, and I've played this game a lot. I downloaded it way before it came out physically, and that's Steel Assault. Okay, what happens when you put Gunstar Heroes, Contra, and I don't know, Shinobi all in one game? You get Steel Assault. This is an action-packed, non-stop, heart-pounding game. It has all the colors you could ever ask for, all the bright neon oranges and reds. You're hanging from planes. You've got a really cool whip that you can use. And then you also have like this two-sided grappling hook that you can use to grapple on to higher levels in the game. The pacing of this game is real fast, and this is a hard one. So if you're not up for like hard action games, like difficult action games, you may want to pass on it. But Steel Assault is everything that a modern retro gamer would want, and this is one that I would definitely recommend. It's funny. The conversations in the game are great, and look at that main character. Dude looks like he's ready to just bust out and start kicking butt. So Steel Assault is one that I would definitely recommend for the Switch. Really good game, and you'll have a fun time with it. And that does it for me and my holiday recommendations when it comes to the Switch. You got a lot of great options for the Switch. It's one of those consoles where you can buy a ton of games for it. But if you're wanting to stand out and get someone something a little different this holiday season, I definitely recommend any one of these. Let me know if you've played any of these games down in the comments. I am the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.